You guys have had a lot of permutations of weird, awkward teenage romance on the show, but I feel like none have really been like this. I have been watching the whole season. I don't even know if they're actually dating, I feel like. Like, what is the deal with Stiles and Leah at this point?
Wait, what's the question?
What is the deal with Stiles and
Are they
Leah?
dating?
They're unique. They're unlike most relationships in high school, I think. They're...
Do they have sex? That's what, that's what I
tons of
want to
sex,
know.
of course.
Yeah!
No, sex is bad.
Sex is good. Sex is bad.
Unless you're married. Oh, God.
There's some underage people in this audience.
Help. Jeff?
Now say that.
Jeff, what do you think of this question?
I can say for upcoming, they may have a rocky road ahead. So it's gonna get difficult for Malia and Stiles, especially as a certain secret about her parentage comes out.
Ooh. Who knows what that secret is? Yeah,
Well, that's not the only secret being kept at the moment. I mean, Hecklin, I feel like Derek has a huge secret that he's keeping from everyone, which we found out in last week's episode. Yeah. What was your reaction when you found out your character was slowly losing all of his powers?
For me, it was actually really exciting. It was kind of an opportunity to, I think anytime you come across something with your character that you can personally relate to in like a very real kind of way is always really exciting. So for me, Derek becoming more human was much the same as I went through when I stopped playing baseball, because that was such a huge identity thing for me as a kid growing up, that when I stopped, I kind of had this weird, moment where you go, well, who am I without that? So for Derek to be losing his powers as a werewolf, he's gonna have to figure out who he is when he's not a werewolf. So it's becoming a human and moving on and finding your identity and who you are and what you stand for and the actions you take, as opposed to just a label that you might have. So.
There was the scene where Derek said to Scott, "You're really good at this," after he watched him sort of talk Liam down. I thought that was such a great scene, and it was like a passing of the torch in a really interesting way.
It's funny because when you were asking Posey and Dylan about how they are with Sprayberry on set, like being the older brothers kind of thing, it's been really weird to watch because Posey and Dylan are now the same age that I was when we started the show. And
Isn't that crazy?
Sprayberry's a little bit younger than they were, but still, it's kind of when we shot that scene, it was one of those weird moments of life. I can't see the far end of the table. What's going on?
Watch the TV. You can see everything there.
Just look at
oh, that's weird. I'm not but it was a weird moment of like, oh my god, exactly what's happening in this scene is kind of what's happening in real life. Yeah. It's like seeing Scott fill that role that Derek was in season 1, and it was a really weird kind of trippy moment. So I really enjoyed that scene. That was probably one of my favorite scenes we've ever shot on the show for me personally.
Nice. Holland, I would imagine, given everything Lydia's gotten to do this season, really finding and embracing her banshiness, there's probably a lot of things that could stick out as sort of favorite things that you've gotten to do this year.
Favorite things I've got to
Did Holland fart just now?
That was a mouth fart.
She's finally like the others.
Yeah. I finally have some romantic freedom. Yeah. I get to be the independent woman, the year of Beyonce. Yeah. So Lydia's discovered that album, and I would say I think it's been incredible to know, and there is more to come about Lydia's history and why she's a banshee. And now that she has all this newfound power, it's just based on the fact, can she help anybody with it? And so Lydia has to be like the best at everything, including helping people. And so somehow that's supposed to be an altruistic quality in that sense. And so she wants to help people. That's basically her MO this season, and hopefully with her power she'll be able to do so.
Awesome. Jeff,
Hell yeah.
She was talking about learning more about her family. What can you sort of say about the banshiness of it all?
You're going to learn a lot more. One of the things we've really enjoyed about crafting this arc for Holland and Lydia is that we can do it slowly. We can do it over seasons and seasons, and it's a struggle for her to master her powers. And we're going to see in the next episode, especially, next 2 episodes, how she struggles with that. And there's a great scene in what we call the study in the lake house, where we're going to learn a lot about the Martin family past, and actually more about in the future. There's little I can say.
Well, since you're talking about the next 2 episodes, why don't we just take a look at what's coming up for the rest of this season?
That last shot, I should probably leave.
Well, I don't even know where to start now. Jeff, how many of these people on this panel are being killed off in the back half of the season? I feel like there was no one left unbloodied, unbruised, and semi-unconscious.
That sounds about right.
What can you sort of talk about what's coming up in the next stretch?
A lot of decision making, a lot of character arcs coming to a finish, I could say. You saw Peter Hale at the end of that trailer, and one of the last line he says is, "It was my bite that changed your life. It's my bite that can end it." So you're going to be seeing the fruition of Peter Hale's plan and what he intends with Scott.
That was the first time we've seen him as a wolf other than the alpha, right?
Yeah. It was a big CGI monster before.
Yes, he was. Ian has never worn the werewolf makeup before other than that moment. He was just a CGI monster. Does anybody care? Is that interesting to anybody?
We care.
Okay, thank you.
Dylan Sprayberry, can you talk? I mean, we saw you jumping through the air, full wolfed out. Can you talk about what that was like doing for, I would imagine, the first time, unless you just do that in your downtime too?
It was really fun, especially getting to do some of my own stunts. I mean, obviously they have multiple people that are better at that than I am, but I get to do some of it like that.
That was a pretty impressive jump.
It was fun.
You were jumping, dude.
I was jumping. Yeah. This is a white man can't jump.
And Hecklin, based on that trailer, I would assume you don't put any shirts on for the rest of the season.
I think I got lucky in 3A and 3B, and then it caught up with me. Yeah, there was quite a bit of that, right? That's the first time I've seen that trailer. I was unaware.
I love that. Well, I feel like it's about that time to open it up to your guys' questions. I believe there's a mic you can all line up at, because that... Oh my God! Fight! Be careful! So there's no microphones.
I'm not an instigator, I'm just joking, I swear. I promise.
This will be very composed.
Nobody fight.
All right.
Okay. Important question. How much time do we have? How much time do we have?
They have a while.
We got a little bit of time?
All day.
Okay. So we can get through that, please.
All right. Do we have our first question?
That's crazy.
We're never gonna get to all those.
Yeah, we are.
I mean, we're gonna try our best not to ramble. Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Emma, and I wanted to ask what drew you to audition for the show?
Not money. I mean, for me, what drew me to the audition is that it was Scott is the lead character. I had never played a lead before, so I was like, hell yeah. It was on MTV. I grew up watching MTV. I read the script. It was phenomenal, Jeff Davis. And everything was just exactly the way I wanted it to be. And then I met Dylan and Tyler, and I was like, oh hell yeah, I have to be a part of this. And then it's been history ever since. And now we make out all the time.
We don't make out.
We don't.
We just sit next to each other in underwear. I loved the script, and I loved Styles, and I wanted to audition for him.
Yeah, I like the script was the first thing that caught my attention, and then I loved how creepy Derek was actually. The first script.
You're naturally part werewolf.
I know, yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah, that was a family joke going into it that I had to be a werewolf at some point in my life, so this worked out nicely.
I saw Hecklin at my audition, and I was like, wait, you totally have to be on this show. Because I knew him before the show. And so naturally you now are. and I was giving him like tourist points to hit in Atlanta where we used to film, and that's when I got the call, like, you're gonna be a 5'8" model off the runways of Milan. And I don't look Italian, I'm 5'3", and as some of you might have heard the story, I somehow ended up playing Lydia, Jeff Davis, so thank you for hiring the redhead, pale, short girl to play the popular pretty girl. So thank
But you are playing the smart girl too.
Yeah, it was fun. So yeah, and I love the script too. I mean, I think we all love the pilot.
Next question.
Yeah, that's good. Remember me?
I remember you. Is your name Andrew?
My name is Tyler Vegas. Well, first of all, 3 words. Best Wi-Fi ever.
Are we supplying Wi-Fi again this year?
Yes.
I'm using it right now.
That's so cool.
Anyway, you guys inspired me to become an actor just like all of you guys. Yeah. And I just realized if there's me, Tyler Vegas, Tyler Hegwin, and Tyler Posey, does that make the 3 of us the 3 Tyler Musketeers?
Yes, it will.
So my question for both Tylers and both Dylans. So what was the gnarliest scene you have ever done, and explain why?
The gnarliest
Scene in season 4.
What was the gnarliest scene we've ever done, and explain why? I think I've seen in
First 5 episodes.
season 4. I think. I don't know. The scene where I bit Dylan Sprayberry was so pivotal and such a huge moment for Scott and for the series in general. I think that was one of the most intense. It took us like 9 times.
Wasn't that like his first night too?
That was Dylan's first night of working, and it was the perfect introduction to Teen Wolf. He was bloody. It was like 9 in the morning when we finished filming,
And he was screaming for hours.
he was screaming for hours. So it was perfect. Welcome to the family, buddy. Thank you.